To this video tour of a project we did for the Champion Center in Lewisville, Texas. The Champion Center was going to be the home for Bethel, Dallas, and also a home for some multi-level marketing, a kind of a combination of church and business. A very interesting project. When we got the call, they asked if we'd ever turned a Home Depot garden center into a church. And I immediately pictured a Home Depot, which make marvelous churches. And I said, well, I don't think that'd be a problem at all. Let's go take a look. When we got over there, we realized, oh, it's a Home Depot garden center. I'd never been to a Home Depot garden center before, but as I began to look around, I realized it was quite a different animal. You can see that there is some masonry, but there's a lot of stucco, and the actual structure itself is extremely light. It's more greenhouse than building. It was noisy. It flapped. It had loose pieces and was really rough. We looked at it aesthetically and went, wow, this is really challenging. This is very, very industrial. This is a overbuilt greenhouse with loading bays and really challenging. So that really put a smile on our face because we do love a challenge. So here's the rest of those existing photos. And you can see it's just a really light building. It had been vandalized. The copper had been taken. The HVAC systems were insufficient anyway. The restrooms were insufficient. The slab was insufficient. The roof was insufficient. And this became an instant challenge and an instant favorite. So what did we do? We got to work. And the first thing we did was we created an amazing entry element. We brought some shade all the way down the face of the building to kind of relieve the facade. We brought some stone wainscot down. Didn't want to spend too much money. Kept it low, but created some banding. And then we built this glass block internally LED lit tower. Changes colors throughout the night and really became an instant landmark in the city. And then the big letters, the Champion Center, kind of retro, kind of grabbed onto the building and really started to take shape. Here's the entry and the unloading. It's very fresh on that half radius. You see the columns and the beams that we brought out in this heavy shade down to provide some visual relief for this project. There is kind of a montage of how this tower changes colors throughout the night. It's a very beautiful element. It really, really caused a lot of people to take note. And this church got a lot of publicity instantly because the community around them really said, wow, what's going on over there? So here's that tower being built. It's very fun. It's got a heavy steel structure, the glass infill. The front again, we went with kind of a desert landscaping, a very low zero-scape type landscaping. And the tower can be split into two, top and bottom. You see, we love to use transparency at the entry. Nothing says come in and welcome like a nice high entry with a lot of glass, and this building really does communicate the warmth of this congregation inside. As we go inside, they made a major commitment. This is just walking in the door, and a major coffee bar element on the left-hand side. Visuals, the hang down lighting, and you can see this congregation is packing out that space. Here we are looking toward the sanctuary. This congregation partnered with us to go with some really bold colors. They were not afraid either. Polished and stained concrete floor, a lot of life and character in that floor that just really came to life. If you're a concrete purist like I am, you really love the character. This church was able to embrace that. A lot of churches can't get past the cracks and the blemishes, but for this church, it was perfect. Blacked out ceilings, some great lighting, multi-purpose space here, really functional multi-purpose space. We're looking into the worship center, and this was the actual greenhouse portion of the building. This was the worst part of the building, very challenging. Here we are behind the coffee bar and the kitchen. It's just a great space. And here we are in construction in that greenhouse space. And so you can kind of see some pictures of that taking shape. And here we are. This is an Advocare event. As we mentioned, the multi-level marketing aspect used with Bethel Church. And so we see here a kind of a banquet format with strong visuals and lighting, and it really works. It's got a real industrial feel, very fresh and very appropriate for both Advocare and for Bethel Dallas. And back across that foyer, just a great space. Down the hallway, a lot of glass, some great bold colors, and back across that welcoming space. It's just a great welcoming space. You walk in, you're immediately home. You're not, any twisting corridors. Everything opens up right on this main gathering space, which we really like. Beautiful granite counters, just some great stuff. And we come back around to the front, and that pretty well completes our tour. This was one of the more challenging projects. Definitely caused us to get out of the box. It was a great client, a lot of gutsy design decisions, and absolutely to this day, one of our absolute favorites. So thanks for taking the tour with us. If we can help you out on anything that you're dreaming about, planning, or need some help with, give us a call. I'm Hardy Brown with Brown & Associates Architects, and appreciate your time.